welcome everyone to the new Wings Court. We've all been watching the work progress here for some time now, and so and we've been waiting with eager anticipation for this day. And this is great. It's an aha night tonight. It's a great day to celebrate the introduction of a fantastic new public space to downtown New Bedford. This is a place where we will gather as a city for all sorts of events and where memories will be made. It looks great. It will be stewarded well, and I think this is a place where that the city will be proud to call its own. So there are a lot of people who deserve credit for getting us to this day, and let me just tell you who's up here. First of all, Kurt Gertner from Massachusetts office. It's the office of it's OEOE.
Exactly.
Right.
Energy and Environmental Affairs.
Energy and Environmental Affairs. Right. Because I always get that acronym jumbled up. Kurt was instrumental in making this happen and getting the financing in place from the state to launch the construction last year. Let me and I'll call him up in a moment. Acting City Planner Jill McLean was instrumental in the planning and quarterbacking the design effort and the construction effort. The hard-working masons of the Department of Public Infrastructure who are up here deserve the most credit. We have some very skilled and hard-working masons in the city of New Bedford, and this is what they did. Take a good look at it. This is some pretty amazing stuff. Amazing craftsmanship, amazing attention to detail. It's something that we will be proud of, and they will be proud of, their kids will be proud of, and their grandchildren will be proud of in the years to come. And you guys deserve all the credit for this. You really do. Let me also note some of the other supporters of this project from the very beginning. Representative Tony Cabral is here. This is his district. He's always been very supportive of this project right from the get-go, as well as Representative Keiko Laurel, who's here today. She's not going to be a representative of any part of New Bedford anymore. Her district has been changed, but she is a representative in spirit still. And Keiko, we appreciate your support as well, wherever you are back there. Also, many city councilors have been involved in supporting this project, and two of them are here today, Councilor Henry Bousquet and Joe Lopes, and they deserve a lot of credit for stepping up and making sure that the city funds this project properly. Let me just tell you a little bit about the project, and then I'll have Kurt come on up to give you the perspective from the state. The funding for this project included $125,000 from the Gateway Cities Urban Parks Grant, which was awarded in June of 2010. Kurt shepherded the grant process for the state. And let me just say this, the support that this city has gotten over the years from the Patrick Murray administration has been phenomenal. This administration, more than any other, in my view, in the history of the Commonwealth, knows how to find its way down to southeastern Mass and New Bedford in particular. And they keep supporting us in so many ways. We have a lot going on in the way of construction and new projects in the city, and we can't do it without the support of the state. The state recognizes that our city is an important focal point for this region of Massachusetts, and that investing here will pay off not only for the city but for the Commonwealth at large. And Kurt, we really do appreciate the commitment that the administration has made here. Let me also note that much of the planning work was done by planners that we turn to for many projects, and that's CDM Smith, John Alcott and his team. Is John here today? He's stuck in traffic? Okay. Well, John is here in spirit, and CDM Smith did a fantastic job, and as they have in many other places. Wings, a little bit of history of this space. For those of you who are old enough, you might remember Wings department store here. I'm not old enough to remember, but Wings department store stood here for decades in New Bedford. It closed in 1964. The Wing family was a whaling family in New Bedford that invested in this growing city in the late 1800s, and they did it among other places right here on Union Street. And so there was a department store that occupied most of the space. There was a fire in the building in 1974, and the building was razed after that and partially demolished. And for many years, you've seen essentially an open space here that was grown over. The Office of Planning applied for an urban parks grant from the state in 2009, consistent with the downtown revitalization study that the city had accomplished and had completed. And the primary goal here really is, as I noted earlier, to have a first-rate public space that people could enjoy, especially during the summer, but at all times of the year. And so the goal here is really just to make it an interesting pocket park that is attractive to the eye and safe and close to other amenities in the downtown area. And I think we've accomplished all of those goals. As I said earlier, the masons who did the actual hands-on work here and whose craftsmanship is reflected throughout this space deserve credit, and I want to name them by name. There's Joe Costa, Fernando Condi, Richard Cormier, Horace Medeiros, and Frank Bento. All did a great job, and their work is done here. The space will be managed going forward by the Department of Public Facilities, which manages other space in the city. DPF will be assisted by Work Inc., which is right over there. Tracy Cunningham at the helm. Tracy's right there. My friend Priscilla and my friend Jen Demers are both here. They're big proponents of Work Inc. as well as this space. And Work Inc. is going to really help keep up the plantings here, which do require a fair amount of attention. And we thank you guys for that, Tracy. I think it'll really make a difference. This place, now that we have this place, we need to show the love on an ongoing basis, and Work Inc. is going to make sure that, working with the city, that's going to happen. I also want to thank Catherine Duff, who is not, I don't see Catherine here today, but Catherine is a super talented architect who serves the city in so many ways, through the New Bedford Education Foundation, founding member of that organization, as well as on the planning board for the city. She and Mary Raposa, Fox Run Landscape Design, contributed mightily to the design of this park in many ways, and we really appreciate those efforts. With that, let me introduce Kurt Gerdner, who is the Grants Administrator at the Massachusetts Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs that oversees the Gateway Cities Program and Urban Parks Program. And again, this is what you're seeing here today is the mark of a great relationship between the city and the state that has transitioned, that crosses administrations and continues to work today, and we expect and hope for great things in the future. Kurt?
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be here this afternoon, speak on behalf of Secretary Sullivan and my colleagues at the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. I consider myself fortunate in that I get to manage a program, Gateway City Parks, that has been a bit of a hallmark of the Patrick administration. When he was running for office, one of the governor's campaign commitments was to devote additional funding to what he saw as a priority, and that was urban open space. Really felt that made a difference to have parks like this one in urban communities, places where often residents didn't have their own private backyard, where they really were dependent on space like this, where they can come and relax, play a game of chess perhaps, otherwise enjoy open space. And he wanted to do projects that really contributed to the overall well-being of cities like New Bedford, something that contributed to the character of the downtown, contributed to economic development in the community. And so the program was created to create and restore parks in urban neighborhoods, and that program does come with the help of our friends in the legislature. It is funded through the most recent environmental bond bill and has been working in 24 cities across the Commonwealth to do exactly what I've been describing. There are a couple of unique things about this particular project, though. I'm managing projects like this in 24 communities, And this is the only one where yes, the $125,000 from the Commonwealth contributed to the design and helped to purchase materials, but it's the only one where the employees of the city itself, these gentlemen, have actually done the work. And I got to commend them, as the mayor just did, on the quality of the outcome here. A unique thing. In no other place has the city done that. All the other work's been contracted out. So again, happy to have contributed to Wings Court. Also happy that we're going to be following up and worked with the mayor and the administration, and perhaps the mayor or Jill would like to say more about this in a moment, to the next project, which is just across here, Custom House Square, a second sum of money in the $300,000 coming from the Gateway City Parks program to help the city to both think through design and to purchase, again, materials for the Custom House Square project, really, again, contributing to the downtown. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. Glad it's come out so well. And let me turn it over to Jill, who's been a pleasure to work with here in the city. So thank you.
Well, Jill gets the back cleanup today, which is the best spot. Before I call Jill up, I wanted to ask Representative Cabral to come up. This is his district. He supports the Urban Parks program and has always done so, and I just wanted to make sure that he had an opportunity to weigh in on a project that he cares an awful lot about. Tony?
Thank you, Mayor. It is a great day to see finally the project completed. We've been talking about it. We've been watching the work progress over the last year or so, and finally, with the great work done by city employees and the planning by Jill and others, we finally have Wings Court in a way that I believe is not only pedestrian and people friendly, but also business friendly. It's an opportunity for a beautiful open space downtown for people to enjoy, and at the same time to enhance the businesses immediately around Wings Court. It is an urban parks program. It is, as Kurt said, it is a program that is funded through the environmental bond bill that we in the legislature provide those funds, and they get to administer and then give it out. And New Bedford has really taken its, I'm not going to say it's fair share because I think we want more, but I think New Bedford has done an effective job in trying to make sure they receive money on every round of the program. As Kurt mentioned, another $300,000 will be applied to the so-called next door here almost, the what do we call that place? Common House Square. And so he'll get, and I know Secretary Sullivan has been hearing from us now for some time, and he has, I don't want to put it in writing, but he has committed to look at the possibility of additional money from this program for Hazelwood Park in the South End. I know Kurt is aware of that. We've been talking to him, and we have spoken with this Secretary Sullivan. So we believe that the city will be again in line to working with Jill and with the mayor. We're going to make sure, and the council from Ward 6, Joe Lopes, to make sure that we secure some additional funds through this program for Hazelwood as well. I think the job that we do in downtown is wonderful. It's awesome, because this is, after all, the center of the city, and we want to showcase the center of the city. But I think Hazelwood Park needs some attention, and I think it will qualify for this program. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. I think this is wonderful. To the city employees, great job, guys, as usual. If you go throughout the city, they do wonderful work, not only here, but they also were involved in the Goulet Square, the improvement at the Goulet Square. It was wonderful. If you haven't seen it, go down to the South End and see it. And they do wonderful work. So thanks, Jill, for your planning work, and you did a wonderful job as well. And to the city councilors, let me say a big thank you for my colleague. I don't know if she wants to say a few words. I'd like to say a few words. May, if you don't mind, I want to bring her.
Not at all. I can't say no to Keiko.
My colleague that represents still the city until January of next year for a few words. Keiko?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Keiko Oral, and this is an honor to be a part of this ceremony. And it's such a it's a fitting day to have the ceremony because it's Flag Day. It's a day where we pay tribute to our flag, we pay tribute to our country, and we think about the things that we love. We love our country, we love our families, we love our communities. And this is about loving New Bedford. And when I'm on the Hill, I tell people, I love New Bedford. I think this is a wonderful city. I think that things like this make all the difference to visitors who come to the Whaling Museum, who come for classes at UMass Dartmouth and at Bristol Community College. And these types of things will bring revitalization, will bring a fresh new start for New Bedford, a fresh new direction. And I think that this is a wonderful opportunity to be a part of, and I appreciate all of the effort that went into making this such a beautiful place. Thank you.
Thank you, Keiko. Let me call up Jill McLean now, who more than anyone has been intimately involved in the project, who knows it from A to Z, and who really poured a tremendous amount of energy and thought into it, and the results have been fantastic. So, Jill.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to touch briefly on some of the process and how we got to this point today. But first of all, I'm very excited to finally see the project coming to completion. It's great to see this project come to life. It's been on the tables in the planning office since I started here over 6 years ago. Several years ago, we started with the city master plan back in 2009, as well as the downtown study that the mayor mentioned, which also their public process began at the same time. We had over 50 meetings. We had over 1,100 people participate in those meetings. Everywhere we went across the city, people spoke about the downtown, the importance of Custom House Square and Wings Court, and the connections from the historic district to upper downtown, and really creating those linkages. So we started looking for funds, and out of that first process with the downtown plan, which was funded through the Gateway Cities program, we were able then to capitalize on that momentum and secure the Urban Parks program grant for this particular project. In the beginning, it was envisioned that we would have the $125,000 from EOEEA to do some conceptual plans and maybe some design to build for both Wings Court and Custom House Square. When we started the process with CDM, they came up with some really great, solid conceptual ideas, and we realized right off the bat that we were able to reach consensus very quickly, at least for Wings Court. So at that time, we went back to EOEEA and asked, could we take the remainder of the funds, and rather than finalizing Custom House Square and Wings Court planning and engineering, could we just finish Wings Court and then use the remainder of the funds for the construction materials? To which they graciously said yes. And as Kurt mentioned, and I want to stress, we couldn't do a lot of these projects in the city without the city team that we have, and DPI has been great. The Masons have put up with all of us coming down, changing things, tweaking it here and there, bringing in landscape architects at the last minute. Literally, all the planting you see went in about a day and a half by the cemetery department. So they've done a wonderful job. And the next process, as the mayor mentioned, will begin with Custom House Square. We've applied for a second Gateway Urban Parks grant. Due to our successes, we received that one as well for $300,000, as Kurt mentioned. So that process has begun a little bit with Chris Reed from Stoss Urban Design. We'll be focusing on Custom House Square and the framework around it, including the 54th Regiment Memorial and the Custom House, as well as Barker's Lane, and taking into consideration the linkages that will create between the upper downtown and the historic district. So once we come up with some concepts that are further designed with Chris that involve more greenscape than hardscape as found in here, we'll be taking that to the public probably around the end of August or September to finalize ideas and designs. And all of this, of course, is still built off of what we brought to the public the last time around with CDM. And they'll be continuing this process most likely and bringing it to the design to build level, which then DPI takes and makes what you see here. So Custom House Square will begin construction at the end of October after all the events have taken place this season. I think that's all I have.
Jill, great job. As you can see, things are really moving in the city, and it's moving because the efforts of so many people and so many agencies at every level of government are aligned, and so we're really looking to keep up that momentum through the summer and beyond. A couple of things that I wanted to mention is, in particular, is we've got some restaurants here. They're going to be serving outside, not just tonight, but every night that this is going to be open, so Honor Roll. Brick is right there. The Poor Farm is right over there. We expect to have a restaurant that will take the place of the Commons at some point. So this is a great space to go out and have dinner. And if you're like me with little kids who don't behave in restaurants, there's plenty of room for them to run around outside here. So it's a win-win in that way. But thank you everyone. Thank you everyone very much for attending today, and I hope you enjoy the space.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Jose and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
Horseradish. Is that for horses? Remember me, Mr. Lobster? From last Tuesday? Banana. 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 Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat? That's right.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
So, April.
Yeah?
You know your charger's still using energy when it's plugged into the wall, right?
Yeah, but that's not my charger. I don't even have a cell phone.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
I took a trip to Elkhart, Indiana today. Elkhart's a place that has lost jobs faster than anywhere else in America. In 1 year, the unemployment rate went from 4.7% to 15.3%. Companies that have sustained this community for years are shedding jobs at an alarming speed. And the people who've lost them have no idea what to do or who to turn to. They can't pay their bills, and they've stopped spending money. And because they've stopped spending money, more businesses have been forced to lay off more workers. In fact, local TV stations have started running public service announcements that tell people where to find food banks, even as the food banks don't have enough to meet the demand. As we speak, similar scenes are playing out in cities and towns across America.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.